How do I get comfortable feeling good? How do I get comfortable feeling good? Somebody asked. I talk about this all the time with my clients and just people in general, and even with myself. When you're so comfortable with feeling like shit all the time, that's your normal. That's like your brain is like, this is who we are. This is what we do. This is normal. This is comfortable, even though it sucks, even though it's painful. It's just what's familiar. So when our brains are familiar with something, it becomes comfortable with it. That's why, like in music, they repeat the hook over and over again, or they repeat a certain thing over and over again, because it gets the brain comfortable or familiar with that melody, and then the brain at first will be like, what the fuck, or maybe like, oh, that's cool. But the more that it does it, the more comfortable it gets with it. So for instance, Linkin Park came out with an album a long ass time ago. I hated it when they first came out with it. And then it was my favorite fucking album 2 years later, because I think I heard it somewhere, and then I heard it in another place, and then I just got familiar with it and I started liking it. And so the same thing with our emotions. If we experience something and it puts us in a negative emotion, and we're not aware of that, we just settle in that, and then we keep experiencing that over and over again. We keep projecting that same thing onto the future over and over again. We keep creating the same reality over and over again, because what we're doing is we're creating predictability, right? Somebody hurt you, you feel like shit. So therefore, you're unaware of necessarily why it happened, so you personalize it. And so you don't do anything about it, because you say, well, this is just how life is, right? You don't take responsibility for your lack of awareness in choosing a partner who chooses to hurt you for whatever reason, right? You just don't take responsibility for your role, even if it's 1% wrong out of 99% wrong. You just say, this is what happened to me, and people can't be trusted. And so you move through life like that, and the next relationship you get in, well, guess what? It's the same shit, because it is what you are subconsciously projecting out and receiving from the world. And you just say like, oh, this is just fate. It's like, no, it is your belief that this is what you deserve, and that you are not responsible for it, but it's just happening to you, and it's just the way the world is. And so your comfortable zone is painful and miserable and sucky. So the moment you try to step out of that and be happy, get ready for the blowback, because your whole nervous system isn't programmed for that. It's a threat to your comfortability. It's a threat to your familiar reality. And so what you have to do in order to create a new reality is get familiar with that new reality. How do you get familiar with something? By repeating it over and over again, exposing yourself to it over and over again. Will it feel uncomfortable? Absolutely, because you're transitioning, you're learning, and learning is very fucking uncomfortable. But if you can understand like that uncomfortability is a good thing, then you have hope. But if you associate discomfort with negative emotions or something negative, then well, that's where you're going to stay, right? And so, granted, I'm not talking about situations in which people do things that are crossing your boundaries that make you feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying get comfortable with that. That's not at all what I'm talking about. There's a whole nother topic of discussion. What I'm talking about is your own choices in life. So, happiness is a choice. It is. And once you realize that, you have the keys to your freedom, right? Because then you can start choosing things that make you happy and then applying discipline in order to acquire motivation and inspiration and so on and so forth. And but knowing that your happiness, your reality, is your choice, then you can start shaping it how you would like it to be. Now, granted, uncalled for shit happens in life, and that's just the way it is. There are the uncontrollables. But as far as you're concerned, in your inner state of being, that is always a controllable. And you control it through choice. Is it easy? No, but stop using that as an excuse. It doesn't matter if it's easy or not. It matters that it's possible, and it matters that it's real, and it matters that it's effective. So understanding this will help you push past the discomfort of unhappiness and misery. And it'll help you start to move into the new reality of happiness, right? And so now I'm in a relationship. I'm extremely happy. I have a beautiful daughter. I have a great career. I get to do this for a living and and help people and coach people and consult with people on this shit because I've been through it, right? There are sometimes, not so much anymore, but sometimes it happens, like maybe about a year ago or even less, it was really strong where it was like, I don't deserve this. I'm too happy. Something bad's about to happen. Like, this isn't going to last. It's like, no. Yes, bad things happen, whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, I've chosen this. I chose the relationship that I'm in. I chose to have a child. I chose the career path that I'm on. And that, being able to say, like, my life is a conscious decision, not some product of the past, some reproduced product of the past that I'm just repeating because this is all I've ever known. I am making a conscious decision to be happy and to rid my life of things that don't make me happy, that don't contribute to my happiness. Why? Why should I? Why should I? And yes, granted, there are some things that you have to do that aren't quite they don't make you so happy to do. Like if you want to start if you want to be an entrepreneur or something, but you're working a dead-end job, well, you might still have to work that job for a little bit longer, right? And it doesn't make you so happy to do so, but you have to make that sacrifice. But there is room still there for happiness, because now you're like, oh, I'm happy to do this job that I'm not so fond of right now because I know it's going to lead me to what I'm trying to actually do. You see the reframe there? Versus, I fucking hate my life because I can't do what I want to do because I'm stuck here at this job. Do you see the mind frame there? Growth versus fixed. And so at the end of the day, getting comfortable with the discomfort of your conscious life decisions that are moving you in the direction of the future in which you desire and have designed for yourself is the key. And it's possible. You can say, here's how my life is, here's how I want it to be, and you can consciously make effort and choices that will lead you there. And it's going to be super uncomfortable because you've never known the identity that you're about to step into. However, like a new pair of shoes or getting a new car, at first it takes a bit to get comfortable with it. But eventually, once you do, you drive it enough, you walk in them enough, it's your new normal. You don't even notice that they're there. It's like they become a part of you. So, with that said, lean into the discomfort and let it be a signal that maybe you're doing something right for once, because you deserve that. I hope that helps.